Most basketball confidence advice is terrible. I had to go through years of mental battles to get where I am at today. People kept saying things like, oh, just stop thinking negative. And then the worst was, well, every morning go to the mirror and say, I am confident 10 times, and your life will be changed forever. I defied the odds, and now I'm a confident basketball player. There's a quote: fools never learn. Smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from the mistakes of others. In this video, I will share what I learned so you can grow without all the pain I went through. As you probably saw in the thumbnail, we're going to talk about this graph right here. This is part 0. The reason why it's part 0 is because this is about your work ethic. If you expect to be a confident basketball player but you don't work hard, I'm sorry, but you're being delusional. Now, what the heck is this graph? Well, it comes from my favorite book I've ever read, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Now, to be specific, this is called the compounding effect. Once you understand the compounding effect and how powerful it actually is, your life will be changed. This is where you are right now. You're right here. Now, you're seeing that the course of your life could either go up very rapidly or down extremely fast. How do we change our basketball career for the better or for the worse? Well, let's say you work hard, you're consistent, you're smart, right? You don't party, you don't do stupid things, you don't drink, smoke, all that bad stuff. Now, how do we ruin the course of our basketball career? What's the opposite? Don't work hard, inconsistent, dumb. All of these different traits on their own may not seem that bad. For example, oh, if I miss one workout, that's not going to change the course of my basketball career. No, it won't. But if these actions are repeated over and over and over again, that reinforces whatever the trajectory of your life is, or the trajectory of your basketball career in this case. If you continue on the path you're on right now, which direction are you heading? Now, I know for a fact a lot of you are looking at this and seeing the middle part of the graph here. And you're like, oh, well, I mean, I'm fine with where I'm at right now, so if I just keep doing what I'm doing, I'll stay the same. Wrong. When it comes to basketball, if you stay the same, you are moving down. That's a fact. The reason why I say that is because there are some guys that continue to do the good habits. They continue to be consistent. They are smart. They work hard. So your baseline of where you're at right now will not be the same 5, 10, 15 years from now, however long you decide to play the game. It will not stay the same because the baseline is up here now. If you want to compete, that's the minimum amount of effort that you need to be putting in. But if you stay here, you're going to struggle because the higher levels of basketball you get to, the better the competition is. So if you want to improve your basketball confidence, the first thing you need to do, part 0, is work hard. Be consistent. Be smart. Do all the things that give you an advantage. Because when it comes to basketball confidence, when it comes to our mindset, we don't want our skills to be holding us back because it's really hard to fix that. We can delude ourselves, but we don't want to be delusional. All right, you made it to part 1 of how to build basketball confidence. Let's get right into it. The first thing that we're going to discuss is something that is extremely misunderstood, and I believe it is the sole reason why only a slim few of people in the world own most of the money, own most of the success, is because of this very reason right here. Let's break it down. We are very good at recognizing threats and problems. It's a primal instinct. It's what keeps us alive. If we're out in the wilderness and we see a big animal, we're probably going to run, right? There's just one problem. When it comes to the game of basketball, if all we think about is threats and problems, we miss out on seeing the solutions to things. For myself personally, and I imagine a lot of other successful people have done this, is rewired my brain. It's not easy to do, but I'll explain how I did it. Instead of getting upset at myself and being angry because, I have negative thoughts and, I see a lot of problems, I didn't get like that. Instead, I understood that my brain is wired a certain way and there are certain mental patterns that I have allowed over the years that control me. And so, I used my negativity and my ability to be aware of threats and problems into something that can help me and be useful. We need to use our primal negative thinking to our advantage. Think about it like this. Our brains are wired a certain way, and there are two different plugs, right? This is plug number 1, and this is 2. We want to change to number 2, because 2 recognizes threats, problems, pain, etc., right? The same thing that this does, threats, problems, pain. It's all the same. But the difference is, in number 2, we also search for the solutions. This is the game changer. The moment we start looking for solutions to our problems instead of just the problems, automatically we become more confident because we begin to think logically. Instead of getting all upset because, insert problem, I airballed. Instead of thinking just like that and that being the end of our sentence, we say, I airballed, but I can improve. Then what's the solution? Oh, well, I can strengthen my legs. I can fix my jump shot form. Think about it. Now, you know me and how I love my analogies. Let's relate it to business and money. You might see things like, this guy made $1 million doing this. This guy made $1 billion selling that. We tend to get jealous sometimes. We might think, man, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And no, they must have scammed. They must have had some kind of fraud, whatever the case may be. We get very frustrated and we just see it as a threat to ourselves. We see it as a threat to our ego because we may not have what they have. By the way, let's not envy. Don't have pride. Remember that. But also, a change that I've made in my life that has helped me is whenever I see an advertisement, whenever I see somebody doing well, instead of getting jealous of man, that's a really successful person, or wow, that ad grabbed my attention, I think, why did that ad grab my attention? What did they do to get their wealth? What were the skills they needed to acquire to become rich? Think about it like basketball. You see somebody doing better than you. They're averaging 20 plus points per game. Instead of getting all mad and frustrated saying, man, it must be their genetics, it's because they're taller than me, it's because of this, this, and this. Change it to, how can I recreate their success? How hard are they working? Can I work harder than them? Ask those questions and think of possible solutions to get to the destination you want to go to. Because, think about it. You're trying to get from point A to B, right? You're right here. This is B. There's a couple ways of going about it. You can go all the way around, take a loop-de-loop, boom, maybe I'm here, there you go. This route is the excuses route. Oh, they got better genetics, their height is better than mine, whatever. Or you can take the direct route, like I said. The closest distance between two objects is a straight line, right? You can take the straight line route and figure out exactly what they're doing, because success leaves footprints. So you see what we did there is we turned that problem, we turned that threat into a positive. That jealousy turned into a positive because we were jealous of their success on the basketball court, in business, in wealth, money, life, whatever. That jealousy we have doesn't have to stay as a negative. We can reframe it and use it for our own advantage. Part 2, we need to diagnose the problem. Here's a question we need to ask ourselves. What am I doing wrong that is causing me to lack confidence? The way to figure this out is to reverse engineer. As I mentioned in part 1, we are very good at recognizing problems and threats. Once again, we're going to use that negativity to our advantage. Instead of asking the question, how can I be confident? Let's reframe it, because this is an extremely vague question. It's tough to figure it out. There's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to being confident. So let's reverse engineer. How can I make sure I am never confident? Well, let's rattle it off the list. Bad self-talk, overcritical, never praising myself. We can go down the list. It's a lot easier to reverse engineer things like that because those are negative things. Once again, to relate it back to business, if somebody was to ask you, yo bro, how do I build a business? It's pretty complicated to think about. But if somebody was to ask you, yo bro, I got a business, How do I kill it? Oh, well, that's easy. Just be terrible with customers, have a product that is actually fraudulent, don't deliver on your promises, right? We can think about those things. Just think about the opposite. Bad self-talk, good self-talk. It might sound dumb, but this is really what we need to do. Overcritical? Relax. Never praising? Praise. Ooh, that handwriting goes crazy. Now this stuff seems simple, but this is what will actually work. Look, let me give you all an illustration real quick. Let me erase this as fast as I can. Oh yeah, light speed. Let's go, baby. Let's talk about that point A to B again. A, B. B is where you want to go, A is where you're at right now. When it comes to B being the destination of being a confident person, when it comes to this, we have a lot of self-imposed walls along the way. And we can't pass through those walls, and we can't make that breakthrough until we change these things about ourselves. Bad self-talk. Self-talk. Not celebrating wins, not praising. I'll say praising again. Not praising. Wow, that handwriting goes crazy, I know. Not praising. There's so many things that go into it. But we need to break down these walls one by one. We're not changing our entire personality and becoming a new person in 90 days because we said I am confident 10 times. No, we're putting in the mental work of becoming a confident person. Part 3. All of our negative thoughts have a root cause. Think about it like this. The tree is the results in your life. This is what is shown above the surface. And your mind and the thoughts that ruminate around it are the roots. You may have seen illustrations like this before. A lot of the philosophers and the self-help gurus will make this type of graph. But I'm going to give you my own spin on it, and I'm going to show how it can actually help you. This piece of advice actually comes from the author Napoleon Hill. He has made amazing books such as Outwitting the Devil and Think and Grow Rich. This book is really being torn to pieces, unfortunately, but it's still, of course, a book. Whatever your roots are, we need to replace them with the seeds of equivalent confidence and strength. The single greatest way to do this is extremely boring and very time consuming, and that's probably why not a lot of people do this, and that's probably why a lot of people suffer with the same negative thinking patterns. But you can be different if you want it. It's a formula that I have created and used in my life many times, and it will help you. Step 1. Sit in a quiet room for 20 to 30 minutes and think. Analyze yourself. Write down the negative thoughts that pop up in your mind. I have a personal example. I'm not going to tell you everything because it's personal to me, but these are some of the most hurtful thoughts that come around my mind, or they did back in the day. Let me read one of these. You are not a man. You're weak. That was one of the thoughts. You're not tall enough. You're not fast enough. You don't know what you're doing. I'm not going to get into all of them. Those are just like, I guess, the generic ones. So whatever that little voice in your mind says to you, write it down. Now, step 2. After writing down all of those thoughts in your mind, question them. Why can I not be successful? Why am I not tall enough? Why am I not fast enough? What is enough? Begin to break down every single one of those thoughts logically. And what will happen is you'll break it down to a point that it doesn't even make sense anymore. You realize that it was illogical, it was irrational in the first place, but you let it take advantage of you because you didn't think it through. See, our anxiety puts us in that fight or flight mode, and whenever we're in that fight or flight mode, we don't take the time to look around and just think about it. Is this true? No, we just react. So get out of that reactionary mode and start questioning. The more detailed, the better. Step 3, my favorite. Pray. God is the ultimate healer of our physical bodies, but also the healer of our minds. Ask the perfect doctor to replace the negativity in your mind with His love and His Holy Spirit. The peace and happiness I feel whenever I pray this is amazing, and I love to pray this. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale emphasized that we can talk to God, who is also the perfect doctor, in some of his books and his sermons over the years of his life. So we can talk to our Lord for mental, spiritual, and physical healing. Amen. Step 4. Take one last look at that paper, and then thank God for hearing your prayer. And this is optional. I personally didn't do this. I did this a couple times, but not for this one. This is optional. But grab that paper, crumble it up, rip it up, and throw it away. Walk away knowing that God has saved you from the self-imposed chains you put on yourself. Mark 11:24. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Part 4, baby. Ambiguity creates confusion. Simplicity creates confidence. Are you afraid of the dark? As a kid, I was deathly afraid of the dark. I still remember being the last one to go upstairs when everybody else went to bed, and I would turn off that light switch and run as fast as humanly possible up the stairs. The fear of the dark is a great analogy. The reason why the dark is so scary to people is because of the confusion and uncertainty that comes with it. Let me give you 2 scenarios. Scenario number 1. You're alone in your living room, but it's the middle of the day, the lights are on, and you hear a noise, and it happens to be your dog. You wouldn't be scared. Now, scenario number 2. Imagine you are in your living room, alone. It's at nighttime. All the lights are off. And you hear a noise. You may be scared because you don't know what the noise came from. Especially if you don't have a dog. Now, ambiguous. Still laughing at that dog joke. Ambiguity creates ambiguity creates confusion. Simplicity creates confidence. So if you want to boost your confidence immediately, don't leave yourself in the dark. Track everything. Oh, look at that handwriting. Oh! Track everything. It's hard to be confident if you don't know if you're actually practicing and doing the right things, because you're not measuring it. You're not tracking yourself. You're not saying, oh, well, last week I went 74 for 100 from the free throw line in my practices, and then this week I went 80 for 100. If you don't have that tracking, you're not going to know. Another thing I want to mention is that a lot of players will do complex training drills just for the sake of being complex. Good drills. Dude, I don't know. Keep coughing today. But the best drills are usually simple because they translate to the game. If you're in your practices, I'm going to draw a basketball court. It's going to be glorious. Oh, yeah. There we go. Boom. All right. You got the basketball net. This is the net. Okay, don't judge me. And you're starting on the wing, right? And instead of just making a quick move, 1 or 2 dribbles, crossover, double crossover, whatever, and just going to the rack, a lot of guys have like 5 cones set up. And they're like, all right, I got to go through this one, come back around, do a loop-de-loop, and then I'm going to come back, bang, bang, oh, coming back, oh, we're going around here. Like, dude, you're not going to do that crap in the game. Look, I don't mind having a cone or 2 on the court to help me and, get a chair, act as a screener and stuff like that, but the stuff that you do in practice shouldn't be just baloney. It should be stuff that translates directly, man. Because all that extra fluff is pointless. Your training should have a specific goal: to get better at basketball. Doesn't have to be super complex. Now look, man, I have basketball programs that focus on simplicity and just getting better at basketball. Click the top link in the description and you can get it for yourself. Now that you know how to build basketball confidence, click on this video to learn how to actually increase your basketball scoring average. But as always, keep God first Stay blessed, bro.